I turn my garden cleanup into black gold in 7 days. Any climate, any season. In this video, I'm going to show you how to take all that end-of-season mess in your garden, dead plants, dry stalks, spent vines, and trimmings, and turn it into rich, dark, crumbly compost your plants will absolutely love in just 1 week. If your garden is full of brown, crunchy, half-dead plants right now, don't bag it, don't burn it, and definitely don't send it to the landfill. You are literally standing on top of next season's fertilizer. Stay with me to the end, and you'll see exactly what my pile looked like on day 1, how it changed over the week, and what the finished compost looked like on day 7. And the best part is, this works in any climate. Hot, cold, dry, or humid, you can make this method work. I'll show you exactly what to adjust, depending on where you live, so you can get fast, safe, high-quality black gold from your own backyard. Let's start with what I mean by garden cleanup. I'm talking about all the plant material you normally pull out at the end of a season. Spent tomato vines, dead pepper plants, dried bean and pea vines, old kale and brassica stems, sunflower or corn stalks, pruned branches from herbs and perennials, and even dead annual flowers, as long as they're not diseased. Most people see all of that as trash. I see organic matter and minerals just waiting to go back into the soil. The first step is to walk your garden and pull up everything that's truly done for the season. When you can, cut plants off at soil level instead of ripping out the roots. Leaving the roots in the ground lets them rot in place and feed your soil life right where it is. The tops, the messy piles of plants in your hands, are what we're going to turn into compost. There are a few things I do not put into this quick 7-day pile. I avoid anything that looks diseased or has strange spots, mold, or mildew. I avoid plants that are absolutely loaded with mature seeds, because those seeds can survive and sprout later. And I avoid really thick, woody branches that I know won't break down quickly. If you have diseased material, deal with that separately, using a slower, hotter, more controlled compost system, or dispose of it according to your local recommendations. For this 7-day method, we want clean, healthy plant material that will break down quickly and safely. Once you've collected a good pile of garden waste, the next step is the most important thing for speed. Chop it up. The smaller the pieces, the faster they break down. If you throw whole tomato vines or 6-foot corn stalks into a pile, they'll sit there for months. We're aiming for days, not months. You can use hand pruners to cut everything into pieces about 2 to 4 inches long. You can use head shears or loppers to chop a bunch at once on the ground. If your setup allows, you can also carefully run the material over with a mower to shred it. However you do it, take a little extra time here. This step is the difference between a cold, dead pile and a hot, active compost that turns into usable black gold in about a week. Now we need to talk about balance, because that's the real secret here. Most of your garden cleanup, especially if it's dry and crispy, counts as browns in compost language. Browns are carbon-rich. They're great, but by themselves they break down very slowly. To get speed and heat, we need to add greens, which are nitrogen-rich materials. Greens can be fresh grass clippings that haven't been sprayed with chemicals, green garden trimmings, kitchen scraps like veggie peels and coffee grounds, or a bit of manure from herbivores such as chickens, rabbits, goats, cows, or horses. If you have finished or almost finished compost from a previous batch, that also makes a great starter because it's full of the right microbes. If you only have dry material and no greens at all, don't worry. I'll give you a workaround. But if you can gather even 1 or 2 green sources, your pile will heat up much faster. Now we're going to build the pile. Aim for a pile that's about 3 feet wide, 3 feet long, and 3 feet high at a minimum. Smaller than that, and it's hard for the pile to hold heat. Bigger is fine if you have the materials, but 3 by 3 by 3 is a great size for home gardeners, and still easy to turn with a fork. To build the pile, start with a loose, airy base layer of chunky stems or small sticks to help with airflow at the bottom. Then add a layer of your chopped garden cleanup material, a few inches thick. On top of that, sprinkle a layer of greens. This could be grass clippings, fresh trimmings, kitchen scraps, or a little manure. If you have any finished compost or good garden soil, add a thin layer as a microbial starter. Then repeat that pattern. Brown plant material, a bit of greens, a bit of starter, until your pile is nice and tall. As you build, this is the time to add water. You want the whole pile to be moist, but not soggy. The moisture level you're aiming for is like a wrung-out sponge. If you squeeze a handful and just 1 or 2 drops of water come out, that's perfect. If water runs out, it's too wet. If it just crumbles and feels dusty, it's too dry. Water each layer as you go up the pile. That's much easier than trying to soak a dry pile afterwards. If you live in a hot, dry climate, you may need to add a bit more water up front and cover the pile with a tarp, cardboard, or a breathable cover to hold in moisture. If you're in a cool, wet climate, go a little lighter on the water at first and really focus on getting enough air into the pile so it doesn't become compacted and slimy. Once your pile is built and watered, give it a gentle fluff with a garden fork, just lifting here and there to create a few air channels. Then leave it alone for 24 to 48 hours. During that time, the microbes are going to wake up, start feeding, and your pile should begin to heat up. On day 2 or day 3, check the temperature. If you have a compost thermometer, you can push it into the center and see the exact number. If not, just use your hand. Push your hand into the pile as far as you can safely reach. If it feels warm or even hot in the middle, you're on the right track. If it's still completely cold, then you might be too dry, too wet, or missing enough greens. If the pile is dry, add water. If it feels soggy, add more chopped dry material and fluff it to introduce more air. If it's moist but still cold, add a bit more nitrogen in the form of fresh grass, green trimmings, manure, or even a handful of a nitrogen-rich organic fertilizer, and mix that into the center. We want that center of the pile to become the engine of the whole process. Here's the basic 7-day schedule. On day 1, you build the pile, water it, and walk away. On day 2 or 3, you check the heat. If it's hot, great. That tells you the compost engine is running. On day 3 or 4, you do your first full turn. Use a garden fork to move the outer material into the center and the center material out toward the edges. This evens out the breakdown and gives everything a fresh dose of oxygen. As you turn, check the moisture again and adjust if needed. On day 5, give it a second turn. By now, the material should look noticeably darker and softer. Stems that were stiff should bend more easily. The pile itself will probably have shrunk a bit in size. That's a good sign that microbes have been busy. Okay, so on day 7, go ahead and check your pile again and give it a final turn. At this stage, you probably won't have perfectly screened uniform compost like you'd get in a store-bought bag, but you should see a dark, earthy, crumbly material that smells just like good soil. You really shouldn't be able to easily recognize most of the original plants anymore. That's what I'm calling black gold in this video. Now, if you live in a colder climate or you're doing this in the depth of winter, it might take you 9 or even 10 days instead of 7, especially if your nights are freezing. But if you're in a really warm climate, you might be ready even faster. The method, though, stays the same. The only things that change are how quickly the pile heats up and how often you need to turn it to keep things moving along. If you found this helpful and you want more fast, practical ways to turn waste into fertilizer, please make sure to give us a like and subscribe to the channel. I have a whole series where I turn things like dead leaves, kitchen scraps, tea bags, and other everyday materials into compost and liquid fertilizers. Go check those out next. And if you try this 7-day garden cleanup compost in your own backyard, let me know in the comments how it went, what climate you're in, and what you used in your pile. That helps other gardeners learn from your experience too. Thanks for joining me in the garden today. Remember to grow green, live clean, and I'll see you in the next one.